Welcome back, aviators, to another installment of real-world practice flights. Today we'll be making a trip from Montgomery Gibbs to Gillespie Airfield. We're going to do a touch and go in the pattern, and then we're going to exit the pattern and head on back to Montgomery Gibbs. While this is a short flight, it can also be quite technically challenging due to the limited time that we'll have to pick up the ATIS and then to gain clearance to the Delta airspace of Gillespie. So the mission of this video today is really to help familiarize yourself with the trip and all the requirements to execute this flight and allow you to stay in front of the plane the whole time you're flying, rather in real life or in a simulator. So for our flight today, we're going to be departing Montgomery Gibbs, and then we're going to fly over to Gillespie Airfield. Taking a little bit closer look at the route today, we're going to depart from Montgomery Gibbs, and we're going to depart the traffic pattern vertically on a right downwind. We're then going to fly directly towards Cowles Mountain. It is at an elevation of 1,500 or around 1,600 feet. So we're going to shoot to climb up to around 3,200 feet. From here, we're going to contact Gillespie and get clearance to land and enter their airspace. As long as we stay below 4,800 feet, we'll stay out of the Bravo. And even if we cross into the Gillespie airspace laterally, as long as we're above 2,400 feet, we won't cross into their airspace. So if we're at 3,200 feet or 3,500 feet up here and we contact Gillespie to get clearance to land, we can then descend into their airspace, and we're going to enter a left downwind for runway 27. We're going to turn base and then final and land. We're then going to do a touch go. Followed by that, we're going to then depart straight out, and then we're going to get clearance to turn crosswind departure, and we're going to go south towards Mount Helix and Lake Murray. When we're more or less lined up with Lake Murray, we're going to turn, fly directly over it, and then we are going to get the ATIS and then get clearance to land for Montgomery. We're going to enter the airspace, then fly straight in on final for runway 28 left or 28 right, whichever one we're given. So to prepare for the flight today, we're going to need to gather some information from the airport diagram for Gillespie Field. We can see we have the radio frequencies that we'll need. We're going to need the ATIS to listen to the weather as we approach. That's 125.45. We can also go ahead and grab the Gillespie tower frequency on 120.7, and then we can note the ground and the clearance as well. Though the most important thing we want to look for is the runway lengths to make sure that we have enough room to land our plane. We're going to be landing on this smaller runway that is runway 27 left, and we can see that it is 2,738 feet, and we know that is plenty of room for us to land. We know that because we can consult the POH to determine how much room we need to land the plane. We can see with our plane loaded at 2,300 pounds and we are more or less at sea level, we can then look at around the 20 degrees Celsius column here, and we can see that the total distance required to land is around 1,300 feet, and that is plenty of room for us on our runway, and that's to clear the 50-foot obstacle. If we were to touch down right on the numbers, we're only going to need 530 feet for the ground roll. And the other very important piece of information we're going to note from this airport diagram is the field elevation. You can see down here where it says ELV, it is 385 feet. So we can deduce from that that the traffic pattern altitude is going to be 1,385 feet. So we can call that 1,400 feet for nice round numbers. And what we're going to do is we're going to, as we come over Cowles Mountain, we're going to look to enter the downwind at a 45-degree angle for runway 27 left. So we're going to be entering a downwind at a 45-degree angle at 1,400 feet. And then we're going to fly the downwind, we're going to turn base, and then we're going to turn final to land on runway 27. The key landmarks we're looking for today is Cowles Mountain and Lake Murray. We'll also be able to see Highway 52 that will pretty much follow to our destination. We're planning on departing Montgomery Gibbs Airport. You can see it from the flashing runway lights. And we're going to head over Cowles Mountain and then down into the area where Gillespie Airfield sits. We're planning on entering a left downwind at a 45-degree angle. We're going to fly the downwind until we see this little blue building, which is a good spot to turn your base leg. It's very easy to see in real life and in the game. And then we're going to continue our base to final by staying inside of these mountain ranges that surround the airfield to the east. In addition, there's some noise abatement procedures to consider when landing at Gillespie. Just to the west of the airfield, when you're turning crosswind to downwind, there's a neighborhood that is on top of a small hill. The neighborhood's kind of C-shaped, you can see, and you want to fly through the middle of it, and you want to be at least at 900 feet. For the sake of time, I'm going to skip the navlog and information about the departing airport of Montgomery Gibbs today, because you can find that information on any of the other videos we've done in this series so far, because it should all be the same. And as far as the navlog goes, as long as we depart with full tanks of fuel, we should be just fine, because this flight is around 15 minutes in total. Pre-flight inspection is complete, so we'll start with the engine start checklist. Chocks tie down, baggage door check, seatbelts check, passenger brief complete, carb heat is off, fuel selector is on both, fuel valve is on, throttle going 1/8, master switch coming on, circuit breakers look good, beacon light coming on, mixture going full rich, primer is in and locked, propeller area is clear, clear prop. Alright, we're on the brakes and magneto switch to start. And back to both. Throttle coming down to 800. Oil pressure looks good. Flaps are up and retracted. Ammeter looks good. And mixture will lean for taxi. Avionics switch is coming on. Transponder will bring on Squawk 1200. Nav lights and ADS-B are coming on. We'll let the Garmin's wake up. Enter, enter. Enter, enter. Alright, we can see our GPS plan for this route. We can see all the Bravo shelves. If we zoom way in, we can see where we are in relation to the airport. I'll leave it right about here. Let's get our radios set. We'll get our radio set first. We're going to need to talk to Montgomery Ground, then we're going to need to talk to Montgomery Tower. So we'll set those up here on the comms. First we'll set ground, 118.225. Then we'll set tower, 125.7. On our lower comms, we'll set the ATIS. Go ahead and get that for the field, 126.9. We'll go ahead and grab the ATIS.
Papa, 1753 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 26. Dew point 3. Altimeter 29er.
29er.
Departing runway.
We'll go ahead and set that in our
right,
altimeter.
28 left. Visual approaches in use.
And that matches the field elevation that we know we're at.
Assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Papa.
Information, Papa. Alright. Alright, we'll test the brakes. Brakes feel good. Alright, before taxi checklist complete. Now we can go ahead and taxi over to the runway.
November 2 Romeo Bravo, contact departure.
Over to departure 2 Romeo Bravo, thank you.
And alright, we can see the tower from here. So let's go ahead and make our radio calls to get taxi instructions. Montgomery Ground, Cessna 733 Yankee Victor at Kilo, holding short of Golf, requesting taxi for departure with information, Papa.
November 733 Yankee Victor, Montgomery Ground, runway 28 left, taxi via Golf Hotel Bravo.
Runway 28 left, taxi via Golf Hotel Bravo 3 Yankee Victor. Currently we are taxiing down Golf and we're about to turn onto Hotel. We're now taxiing down Hotel. This is the long taxiway that runs parallel with the runways. By now you might have already noticed that instead we're going to take Golf Hotel Alpha to runway 28 right. We're going to depart from runway 28 right, making a right traffic pattern departure. Alright, we're going to pull up over here, spin around to do our run-up checklist. Okay, run-up checklist. We'll start with fuel selector. It is on both. Good. Flight instruments, all look good. Airspeed indicator is 0. Wings are flat and level. Altitude is set. The turn slip coordinator is neutral. Heading indicator is set. And vertical airspeed indicator is 0. Fantastic. Let's check the flight controls. Ailerons are good. Rudder left right. Elevator is free and correct. Flight instruments are free and correct. Alright. We're going to go ahead and go full rich with the mixture. We're going to throttle to 1700. First we'll check the carb heat. Good drop. Alright, we'll look left mag. Both. Right mag. Both. Alright, good drop. Ammeter is positive, vacuum is in the green. Let's throttle back to 800. And we'll lean for taxi.
San Luis Tower, Archer 420 Papa is downwind midfield.
Switch over to tower from ground.
November 420 Papa, runway 11, clear for the option.
And we can go ahead and
clear for the option.
get Gillespie Tower set on standby.
420 Papa.
Which is going to be 120.7. Alright, we're all set there. So we have Montgomery Tower on the main. We have Gillespie Tower on standby. Then we have Gillespie Zetas.
November 64 Max here, taxi departure via Alpha, remain this frequency, pass right 2. Taxi departing via Alpha, 1 Mike Sierra, thank you.
So our navs and comms are set. Our doors and windows are latched. Takeoff brief is complete. Note the time, and we'll go ahead and turn on our strobes, lightning lights, and we'll flip off our taxi. Montgomery Tower, Cessna 733 Yankee Victor, holding short of runway 28 right, ready for departure. 3 Yankee Victor.
November 733 Yankee Victor, Montgomery Tower, main right, downwind departure, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff.
Right downwind departure from runway 28 right, 3 Yankee Victor. Alright, runway items. Mixture's going full rich. Landing lights are on. Strobe lights are on. We are good for takeoff. Clear on short final. Gauges are green. Airspeed's alive. And rotate at 55. We'll climb at 73. Crosswind to the north. We can look back, we can see the airport. There's Miramar right on our nose. And now we're going to go ahead and start our downwind turn for runway 28 right. We're going to go ahead and attempt to climb to about 3,500 feet, so we're going to climb right on out of this downwind. Just ahead of us, the large highway you can see is the 15. Here at our right, you can see Montgomery Gibbs Field, where we just departed. Straight ahead of us is Cowles Mountain. That's what we're aiming towards. The tip top of Cowles Mountain is around 1,600 feet, so we're going to be well above it. So as you can see, we're leaving the airspace now. We're also above the airspace vertically. We can go ahead and get the weather for Gillespie, and we'll hit comms 2.
Sky condition clear, temperature 27, dew point 4, altimeter 2989 or arriving in departing runways 27 left, 27 right, visual approaches in use. Read backhaul runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information with key.
Information whiskey. All right.
Captain 7.
Cowles Mountain is technically within Gillespie airspace, so even though we're above their airspace, it's probably a good time to go ahead and contact them and let them know our intentions. Switch over to Gillespie. Gillespie Tower, Cessna 733 Yankee Victor over Cowles Mountain, requesting touch and go with information whiskey.
November 733 Yankee Victor, Gillespie Tower, enter left downwind runway 27 left, cleared touch and go.
Left downwind for runway 27 left, clear touch and go 3 Yankee Victor.
KMYF Tower, good morning. Skyline 2330 Charlie's with the inside of CC for the missed approach, and then over NAS Point Magoo.
November 2330 Charlie, KMYF Tower, report missed.
We'll report missed. Skyline 30 Charlie. Thank you, sir.
Alright, as we start our descent into their traffic pattern, we're going to throttle back to about 1700 RPM and just slow the aircraft to around 100 or 110 knots. If we look out our right wing window right now, you can see that small mountain in the foreground is Mount Helix. That's a visual landmark on the VFR chart. And it's more or less directly south of Gillespie Field. Alright, we can go ahead and start looking at our descent and landing checklist. Landing brief is complete, landing lights are on, fuel selector is on both, mixture is full rich or as required, car heat.
Tower, Skyline 30 Charlie, go on missed approach.
Alright, as we approach Gillespie, we can see the airfield now quite clearly. We're going to enter their downwind at a 45-degree angle, which is at 1,400 feet.
November 2330 Charlie, roger. You said you're going over to Point Magoo?
Affirmative, sir.
November 30 Charlie, southbound departure approved.
Southbound departure approved. Skyline 30 Charlie, thank you.
We're in their downwind.
Oxnard Tower, Skyhawk 149 Charlie Delta, holding short 25 at Alpha, ready for takeoff, east departure.
Alright, we are at beam our touchdown point. We can see the numbers, so we'll go ahead and do 10 degrees of flaps and throttle back to 1500. And we'll shoot for an airspeed of 90.
November 149 Charlie Delta, Oxnard Tower, make left downwind departure, runway 25, clear for takeoff.
Left downwind departure, runway 25, clear for takeoff, Skyhawk 149 Charlie Delta.
November 30 Charlie, frequency change approved.
We'll keep our nose down.
Skyline 30 Charlie, good day, sir.
Alright, there's the little blue buildings that we look for that lets us know our downwind to base turn.
San Bernardino, Skyhawk 6777 Kilo. Can I check in on that flight plan, sir?
November 77 Kilo, I have a flight plan on file for you, but you're out of San Luis and not San Bernardino.
So we turn to base, let's keep that nose down, keep the airspeed around 90. And let's go 80 on base. And as we level out, we'll go 20 degrees of flaps. Turn final. Keep that descent coming on down. Alright, Alright, aiming for about 70 knots on final as we keep this descent coming on down. And we'll go 30 degrees of flaps. This road here, we are definitely on short final, so we'll go the full 40 degrees of flaps, and we're aiming for 60, try to bleed off the rest of that airspeed. And there are the numbers, power idle, and touchdown. Alright, we're going to do a touch and go. So, mixture full rich, carb heat in, flaps up, throttle full power. Engine gauges are in the green. Airspeed's alive, rotate to 55. And we're off. That climb coming at 70. Now there are some particular noise abatement procedures here at Gillespie Airfield. We're going to need to fly our upwind leg a little bit further than normal until we see the 125 highway. There we'll turn crosswind, and we need to be at least 1,000 feet. You can see the highway is right in front of us. We're going to follow that road for our crosswind leg. And there's a community of houses here on our left that is on a little bit of a plateau. Plateau is sort of C-shaped. We're going to shoot for the middle of the C-shaped area that's raised, and we're going to fly directly over that, and that's going to line us up for our downwind leg. And at this point we need to be fully at traffic pattern altitude of 1,500 feet.
434 Victor Alpha, 2 mile final, runway 25.
November 434 Victor Alpha, runway 25, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 25, 434 Victor Alpha.
Gillespie Tower, Cessna 733 Yankee Victor. Could I request this touch and go be on the go with a westbound departure?
November 3 Yankee Victor, runway 27 left, clear touch and go on departure, make straight out departure.
Clear for touch and go, make straight out departure. Runway 27 left, 3 Yankee Victor. Alright, so we have clearance for our touch and go, followed by our departure. When we departure, we're going to go straight out, and then we're going to climb to above 2,400 feet to exit the airspace vertically. Then we're going to climb over Cowles Mountain and make our way back to Montgomery Gibbs. Alright, we're going to go ahead and configure to land. We've already throttled back to 1,500. We're about to turn base. We have 10 degrees of flaps in already. We're slowing this plane down. It's around 100 knots. There's the little blue building we look for our downwind to base turn. Let's keep that nose down, keep this descent coming. And we're gonna turn base. We'll level the wings out, go 20 degrees of flaps.
Santa Barbara Tower, 434 Victor Alpha. Clear the runway, currently on Whiskey. Just like to taxi over to Atlantic.
Bringing it around, so we turn final. Shooting for about 70 knots.
November 4 Victor Alpha, I think you're looking at the sign upside down. It looks like you're on Mike taxi. We have Mike Charlie to the ramp.
You are correct. Mike Charlie to the ramp, 434 Victor Alpha.
Alright, we're on short final. Go ahead and go 40 degrees of flaps. A little high, so we can go ahead and slowly power back, shooting for about 60. Let's continue to lose that airspeed. Touchdown. Alright, go around. So flaps up, carb heat in, mixture's full rich and full throttle. Airspeed's alive, engine gauges are in the green. Rotate at 55. Climb at 70. I love how Gillespie has giant letters right on the airfield that says Gillespie to let you know where you are. Super cool airport. Alright, we're gonna exit. Very similar to the same way that we were doing the traffic pattern. We're going to make sure not to turn any sort of crosswind until we are to that highway that we're going to look for. Now that we're above the airspace, we're going to go ahead and turn south. We're going to keep Cowles Mountain a little bit to our right instead of directly flying over it. At this point, when we pass Cowles Mountain, we're going to look for Lake Murray. We're going to know that's going to keep us lined up to go straight in for runway 28 right or left at Montgomery. We can see right off our nose to the left slightly is Mount Helix if we're looking for visual landmarks. Alright, we're at 2,400 feet, so we're exiting their airspace. We can also see that we're about to exit their airspace laterally, so we can go ahead and switch over the ATIS.
329 or rate 8. Arrive. Visibility 0. Sky condition clear. Temperature 26. Dew point 3. Altimeter 29er. Arriving at departing runways 28 right, 28 left. Visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Papa.
Information Papa. All right.
San Diego Montgomery Field.
We can switch over to Montgomery Tower, which we have on standby. Montgomery Tower, Cessna 733 Yankee Victor, 3,200 over Lake Murray, requesting full stop with information Papa, 3 Yankee Victor.
733 Yankee Victor, Montgomery Tower, make straight in runway 28 left, report 3 mile final.
Report 3 mile final for runway 28 left, 3 Yankee Victor.
Santa Barbara clearance, Bonanza 704 Whiskey November, how do you read?
There's 704 Whiskey November, you're loud and clear, how do you read me?
704 Whiskey, thank you. I'd like to activate IFR flight plan to Santa Maria for the I-10 rating.
There's 704 Whiskey November, clear to Santa Maria Airport, Vol 5 departure, San Marcos transition direct, climb via Aesthetics that maintain 3,000, expect 6,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 120.55, squawk 4640.
Clear to Santa Maria, climb via SID, fly 6,000 on the altitude, departure on 12055, squawk 4640, 704 Whiskey November.
04 Whiskey November, read back correct.
Montgomery Tower, Cessna 733 Yankee Victor is 3 miles out for final runway 28 left.
There's 3 Yankees and runway 28 left, clear to land.
Runway 28 left, clear to land, 3 Yankee Victor. So we'll be entering the traffic pattern on the final leg, which as they said, straight in for runway 28 left. So just as a reminder, the traffic pattern here is at 1,400 feet. The airport elevation is around 400 feet. So when we're turning base to final normally, we're usually around 800 to 900 feet. So that's what we're going to aim for. Right as we come over that circular building that looks like a pie. It's that, we'll see it just right up ahead. It's a building, it's got what looks like 4 pie pieces. It's kind of circular, so.
John Wayne clearance, Cessna 1.
We're powered back to 1,700 feet now, so we can go ahead and start the descent while keeping a good airspeed of around 100 or so. So right off our nose is that pie-shaped building. It'll be clearer in just a second. And we know when we're final, we want to already have 20 degrees of flaps, so let's go ahead and put some flaps in. Start slowing it down a little bit.
Airport after departure, flight heading 210, radar vector Still Beach. As filed after Popper, it's the Santa Monica 125 radial to Santa Monica VOR. Santa Monica 311 radial.
Now this looks like final, so we'll go ahead and do 30 degrees of flaps.
Maintain 2,000, expect 4,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128.1, squawk 3655.
Power back, short final, 40 degrees of flaps.
And 1077 Mike, flight heading 210, vectors to Seal Beach, then as filed to Popper. Then the 125 radial to Santa Monica, then the 311 radial, then direct, frequency 128.1, squawk 3655.
77 Mike, confirm Santa Monica 311 radial.
Alright, runway is made.
That's the read back
so
correct.
we'll keep backing the throttle out.
Radio 2 Silex, and then direct for 1077 Mike.
And we'll go power idle. Touchdown. Alright, carb heat off, flaps up, mixture lane for taxi, landing lights off, wing strobes off, and transponders on 1200. good, and we'll set the trim to neutral. Let's clear the runway. We'll let tower know we're clear. We'll switch over to ground.
Taxi to the ramp via hotel. Have a wonderful day.
Taxi to the ramp via hotel. 3 Yankee Victor. Thank you. Good day. Alright, we're going to taxi via Golf, then hotel, back to the ramp, where we're going to put up the plane. And that will conclude our flight for today.
Fox Tower, November 8675 uniform, holding short of runway 06, ready for departure, staying in the pattern.
Alright, well, I hope this hybrid simulator real-world footage video has inspired you to get out there and do some flying, especially in the San Diego area. And hope you have a great day.
Fox Tower, left push aft approved, report desolation time, runway 6, clear for takeoff.
Runway 6, cleared for takeoff.